I didn't respect the fancy soap policy in our bathroom and accidentally started a soap-based arms race. My wife bought this ridiculously expensive soap from some boutique shop downtown. It came in this tiny frosted glass bottle wrapped in twine like it was a Christmas gift for someone you barely know but want to impress. The label said something stupid like hints of pine and lavender with undertones of regret. She put it on the bathroom counter and looked at me dead serious and said, "This is for guests only. Here's the thing, we don't have guests. Like ever. Maybe my aunt stops by twice a year and uses the bathroom once. That's it." I told her this seemed like a waste, but she insisted that if anyone ever did come over, they couldn't see us using normal people soap. So the fancy soap just sat there like a museum piece collecting dust. 2 weeks later, my regular soap ran out. It was this cheap stuff in a cracked plastic bottle with a pump that made this sad wheezing noise every time you used it. I kept forgetting to buy more, and my hands were dirty from changing the air filter. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I used 1 pump of the fancy soap. 1 pump. She walked in right as I was rinsing, and you would have thought I just kicked her dog. She stared at me with her mouth open and said, "Are you using the guest soap?" I said, "Yeah, I ran out of mine." She said that's not what it's for, and that I'm wasting it on everyday hands. Everyday hands. Like my hands are somehow less deserving of pine and lavender. I got annoyed. Really annoyed. So the next day, I went to that same bougie shop and bought my own fancy soap. $30. Grapefruit and cedar. Smells like a lumberjack who does yoga. I put it on my side of the sink and told her this is my soap, and only I can use it. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind. That night, I saw her on her laptop searching for soap on Etsy. Not just any soap. Fancier soap. She was browsing ones that cost $40. I realized she was trying to one-up me, so I went back to the shop 2 days later and bought another bottle. This one was $50. Eucalyptus and smoke. It smelled like a forest fire in a good way. She noticed immediately. Didn't say anything, but the next morning there were 2 new bottles on her side, both in fancy packaging. One had gold flakes in it. Actual gold flakes. Who puts gold in soap? At this point, we had 6 bottles of soap sitting on our bathroom counter, and we were both refusing to use the other person's. I started using mine exclusively and making a big show of it. She did the same. We stopped talking about it, but every few days a new bottle would appear. Then I invited my buddy Greg over to watch the game. Told him to make sure he washed his hands and specifically used the grapefruit cedar one. He thought I was joking until I walked him to the bathroom and pointed it out. He used it and said it smelled nice but seemed confused why I cared so much. When my wife found out I'd let someone use my fancy soap, she completely lost it. Said I was mocking her and turning cleanliness into a competition. I told her she's the one who started the soap caste system. I just refused to be in the lower class. She hasn't talked to me in 3 days.